Welcome to 2 Minutes of Advice. Today we're going to talk about the Quencher, and some great lessons learned by its manufacturer, Stanley. Back in 2017, one of the co-founders of the online site The Buy Guide gave several of these to influencers as a thank you gift. One of the influencers posted a picture of their Quencher on Instagram, and it took off. Well, an ingenious employee in Stanley went back to The Buy Guide and said, hey, why don't you buy 5,000 of these? They did. They sold quickly. They bought another 5,000, sold instantly. So this employee at Stanley and the Buy Guide co-founder decided to go to the powers that be at Stanley and said, listen, we think this Quencher is really taking off with women. Let's change our marketing scheme altogether and maybe have a little variety in colors. Well, now, the folks at Stanley apparently weren't so sure at first they wanted to do this. Remember, Stanley is the organization that made thermoses and lunch pails. No, not lunch boxes, lunch pails. They've been around long enough that they made lunch pails for their target audience of men, at construction sites who wear construction hats and bring a lunch pail. So this really was a little bit of outside of their comfort zone. But finally, the co-founder of the Buy Guide and the influential employee inside Stanley convinced them to do it. What happened? They put out different colors, and their revenue, $73 million in 2019, went to $750 million in 2023, all more than tenfold in just 4 years. So what are the lessons we can glean from this? Well, first, as always, who is your audience? In this case, had Stanley been able to figure out early on that the Quencher, their focus audience, really needed to be women, they would have gone a lot bigger, a lot faster. Second, always listen to your employees or your consumers or your fans who, frankly, might know better than you do or your marketing and sales department. Now, that's not always the case, but oftentimes your most influential, important, and beloved audiences might know you better than you know yourself, so take a good idea when you hear it and when you see it. And third, the importance of influencers. Think about it, just from one post in 2017 on Instagram to more than tenfold in revenue over just 4 short years. In 2023, we predicted that influencers and influencer marketing would become more and more important in communications and marketing and consumer brands, and sure enough, that's been the case. So something for you and your brand to consider. How do you engage influencers in talking about who you are and what you do? And that's 2 Minutes of Advice today from SunWest.